Hello, people. So today I have a couple essays to write for school, and I'm gonna write them today, right now. But first, I have to get comfortable. I was gonna keep this sweater on, but it's kind of itchy, so I'm gonna take it off. It's so cute, though. If this doesn't, oh, it's turning on. I was about to say, if this doesn't turn on, I'm gonna crash out. But it turned on, yippee. So the first essay that I'm going to do is due on Sunday night at 11:59, and it is my math IA. So IA stands for internal assessment. It's something you have to do if you are in the IB diploma program, which I am. It's like a fancy diploma. I don't even know what it is. Anyway, I'm in it. It's like the hardest course at my school, so I get to tick off that little box on college apps. It's like, I took the hardest course at my school. Be impressed. And everyone has like all A's, and it's really stressful because why do you guys have all A's? So my IA topic is comparing GPAs to whether or not someone has an artistic hobby. I came up with it really fast, but it's working out. So I sent out like a Google form to people and it was like, hey, do you have an artistic hobby? What's your GPA? And I didn't get that many responses. But hey, it makes my limitations paragraph all the better. Another requirement is that it has to be 10 pages, or at least the rough draft is. Usually they're 12 to 20 pages. The rough draft have to be 10 pages. I have like 9. I don't know what else to add. It's like I'm just saying the same thing over and over again. So I'm just going to read through it real quick. By the way, I'm going to be blurring out the clips that show my actual writing because I know that can't be published, so I'm not going to even risk videoing it. And one complaint I do have about this IA is that the writing process was all whack because I had to write the introduction first, and then I had to get my data within 3 days, and I was serving students at my school, but those 3 days were weekends, and I was so stressed this whole week. I'm literally talking about over here, like trying to lengthen this, talking about how I didn't put a significant figure limit on my Google form responses. Like, I don't think they need to know that. But okay, whatever gets it to 10 pages. So this is my graph. I think I'm going to include a line of best fit, even though I'm not calculating for a line of best fit or like a R value. I'm actually calculating for what am I calculating for? I'm calculating for T. I'm doing 2 sample T tests. If it's wrong, like, I'm just gonna take it out. It's like a rough draft, you know? I love when I can type. So here's the graph with the R squared values. They're actually, where's the R squared value for this one? Please show me what the value is. 0.888. That's lower. So I think the reason why I was struggling to get this IA to 10 pages was because I'm not very good at math analysis. I am great at doing the math sometimes, but I'm bad at understanding when to do the math, why to do the math, and what information I can gain from doing the math. And sometimes I feel like that's not taught well enough. I have probably one of the best teachers at my school, but this is just something that I need to learn maybe on my own, like through my own experimentation. I just don't know. I'm a very lecture-based learner. Like, that's how I learn things. So it's just, math is so hard for me. I don't know if I should make like an abbreviation for like student with hobby and student without hobby, like WH for with hobby or WOH for without hobby. I'll probably ask my teacher about that, but I want to get this to 10 pages. So I'm going to not do that because it would probably shorten the essay. And the camera's shaking because I'm like shaking my knee and like I don't know. Okay, this is good. I did find that a mistake in my essay. So the way I wrote this essay was I just followed the outline and I did the math as I went. So I did the math literally as I was writing it and then put it all in past tense. I think once I get my feedback back, it'll be definitely more meticulous, more difficult. But as of now, I did find a big error. So I'm glad I read through this because I'm really bad at reading through my stuff before submitting it. And that was that I didn't explain the difference between 2 means and the 2 sample t-tests, because obviously the people reading this paper are going to know that conducting a 2-sample t-test is different than just finding the differences between means, but I wanted to explain why I chose to find the difference between the means, and then also explain why I went on to do the 2-sample t-test because of that difference between the means, because there was a difference in the first place. It's basic SL math. I am not HLing. And if you don't know what that means, you're clearly not IB. Good for you. Good for you. I should have done community college. I just looked back over my work and realized that a 1.76 t-value means that it's not significant, statistically significant. I hate my life. But actually, I didn't write about that, though. I didn't write about how it's not statistically significant, so I can definitely just write about that. It'll be good. It is technically 10 pages. So, someone's calling me. My friend just called me, so I got up and I walked around and paced, and I have a lot of energy. I don't think I can sit down and do another essay, but I gotta. And this essay is for English, which means it is time for a book review. A book review! Oh, I have too much energy. Okay, so this is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. You probably know it. You maybe love it. I did not like it. That's my hot take of the century. I think it's great social commentary. I think it is great world building, but is there a plot? No. And my favorite book is Lockwood & Co. It is a YA fiction supernatural book. This was not fun to read. It was important to read. It hit a little too close to home. We started reading it November 6th. Dun, dun, dun. You all know what that means. If you're American, I have to write an entire rough draft over the themes of it. Anyway, book review offered is annoying, just like Nick Carraway is annoying, because we read that at the beginning of the year. Why are all these classic books, why do they have just, like, stupid characters? These protagonists literally, actively, like, intentionally don't have a personality, and that just annoys me. Cutting out this major criticism of The Handmaid's Tale because it is an important book to read and there's not a lot of space to criticize it in a place, and especially in a time where it is so important to read, and I understand that it's kind of white woman feminism, but it definitely, that does not negate the fact that it was published under Ronald Reagan, and it criticizes the Christian right, and it talks about women's rights and the importance of individuality and blah, 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 blah. I should not have this much energy. I should not have this much energy. It is 6 o'clock at night, and I just went through a disastrous day of school where I embarrassed myself in front of the entire school because I had to perform in an assembly. I don't think you understand. Coming back to this E.B. Garmon font after being in this disgusting Times New Roman font document is so relieving. New Curtis Connor just dropped! Ah!
Do you like to have healthier gums and...
So my process of writing this essay was very different than my writing process of my IA. This essay is, we have like 5 of them, no, like 6 of them a year, and they can be feminist, theme, research, Machiavellian, all these different style and tone, all these different types. And the teacher chooses them for you. So we read a book and then she chooses what essay style you're going to do for that book. So I got theme this time, and I didn't even finish the book. I read most of it. I skimmed it, but I didn't technically read all of it, but I did skim it, so it counts. The process for this is that we have to make evidence charts that she provides, and then we have to do an outline with the evidence in the charts and put it into 3 paragraphs, and for the thesis, and with a thesis statement, of course, and then we put all of that into an essay. This is actually due next Monday. It is Friday right now, so I have a week and 3 days. And by next Monday, I mean not like this upcoming Monday, but like the next Monday, like December 1st. It's like November 22nd. So I'm going to try to get 1 paragraph done today, 1 body paragraph. And I know that seems like not a lot because I just now finished my other IA. However, 1, I'm a very slow writer. 2, it is 6:40 and I'd like to be done with everything I need to do today by 8. And 3, these paragraphs are long. They're long, okay? It's context quote analysis for 3 different quotes, except I also need to give context for the book in the first quote, or not the first quote, the first paragraph, so the first paragraph's always the longest. It's been 30 minutes and I already have an entire page. I'm actually like really proud of myself. 1, look how long and luscious my nails have gotten. I actually need to file them down so they don't chip. But 2, I actually type like 70 to 80 words per minute, so ignore all those times that I'm pressing delete here. Like, that's not normal. 3, I mentioned in the text earlier that I love school, and I would just like to say I love school, I love school, I love school. I am definitely a person who loves academia. I love learning things. I especially love history class, and I love my English teacher, and that's probably because I have good grades in those classes. The other classes I actually really struggle with, but I still love them because I love learning new things, and I think that makes me an intellectual. So no matter how bad this essay paragraph turned out, I am still a good student and I love school. I'm just gonna read through this real quick. Give me a sec. I think it's interesting how I've spent this entire week writing my IA and doing all the math for that, and then I was able, like, I struggled to even get 1 paragraph done this entire week, and then I totally just cranked out a paragraph in like 10 minutes even. Like, I guess it was basically 30, but I also like couldn't focus and totally had Curtis Connor pulled up. I'm like a whole page done of the Handmaid's Tale essay, and it took so much longer for my math IA, and that's so crazy. But it's also like, it makes sense because I'm definitely not math brained. I struggle a lot with feeling that my creative writing is good enough, but I do like how I write essays. I think I'm very comfortable with my tone and what I have to say when I write essays, so it's kind of like relaxing almost, and I also get to like be rewarded with a good grade, usually a good grade, when I finish it. So I don't know, it's just, I think that was good. Like, after reading through those both, I think that's solid work, and they're both rough drafts, so thank you for following along on that journey. I will see you all in the next video. Bye!